Hello guys, welcome back to the part 2 of getting started with Django with Nishant. And in the last video, we talked about how to set up the environment and get started with the project. In this video, we'll focus more on the front end of our project. So let's start, Nishant.
Hello guys, welcome to the second part of this code conversation. In the first video, I showed you guys how to set up the virtual environment in your PC, and I talked about the importance of setting up the virtual environment in your system so that the project is completely isolated from the main system, and you can download or install whatever packages you want for your project in the virtual environment. And today we'll be focusing on the front end part of the project. I'm going to show you guys what the front end is going to look like. This is what the front end is going to look like. Here we can type in the book name, here we can type in the author, here we can type in the ISBN number, and here will be some sort of submit button over here. And as soon as you click on the submit button, your book name will be over here, your author will be over here, and your ISBN number will be over here, and there will be some sort of delete button. And as soon as you click on the delete button, the book will be removed from this interface. This does not look nice right now because this is just a very basic layout. I just want to give you guys the idea of how the front end is going to look. So I created this. Trust me, guys, it's going to be way more sophisticated than this. So before we start, go ahead and start coding on our front end. I like to put Git on my project. If you guys don't know what Git is a basic Git is a version control system that tracks your code over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my directory first. Let's go to desktop. Let's go to our book list, and I'm gonna turn on our virtual environment over here. My name of my virtual environment was Django. So I write Django /scripts, scripts / activate. My virtual environment is activated over here. As you can see, there is the name of the virtual environment inside the parentheses over here. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cd inside our books, which is our project. And now I'm gonna go ahead and create a new repo for this project. I'm gonna go to my github.com. If you guys don't have the GitHub account, I suggest if you guys don't have the GitHub account, I suggest you guys go ahead and make your GitHub account. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna create a new repository, and the repository name will be book list. I'm going to put this public because if you want to make a repository private, then you're going to have to pay it. Now I'm going to create git repository. There we go. The empty git repository has been made. Now I'm going to go ahead and run this command over here. So go to your command terminal, and type in those commands. If you guys don't know whether you have Git installed in your computer or not, you can check it by typing this command. Type in Git over here. If you get all this kind of thing, then you have Git installed in your system. Otherwise, if you get some sort of error, then you don't have Git installed in your system. I think the people who are using Mac, the Git comes pre-installed in the Mac, but I'm not sure about Linux. But if you are using Windows, I think you're going to have to install the Git. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to run this command. I'm gonna say git init initialize git, okay, and I'm gonna say git /
So this is like this is not a mandatory thing for following along with our project, right? This is something nice to have, isn't it?
No, the thing is, when you are working on a big project, like when you are working on a very big project, let's say you wrote some kind of code and you want to modify that code, and you went ahead and started typing in some code, and let's say because of some new additional feature your code does not work, then let's say you're going to have to go back to your previous code. Then in this kind of situation, Git can be really useful over here. So let's say if I type in some wrong code over here and my entire application is not working, then what I can do is I can always go back to my previous code which was working, and so Git helps in that way.
Yeah, so what I'm saying here is that if people haven't have enough experience with GitHub, right? So it might take a lot of time to just get familiar with the environment, because you've been using this, and then you might make everything work well in like 5-10 minutes, but people might have to get around with this thing for another hour or two. So I'm just trying to make sure that if people find it intimidating to get started with GitHub, even then we would want you to learn how to use GitHub, right? Then if you want to hold it on this portion and then follow along with the tutorial on Django, you definitely can do that, isn't it?
Yeah, you can absolutely do that, but it is always nice to start using Git in your project if you want to learn more about Git. But if you don't want to do it, it's absolutely fine. It really depends upon you. So, but in over here, I'm gonna use Git. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type in this command commit m, and our message will be browse setup done. And as soon as I click over here, it will be committed in our master branch. And now, okay, it will be committed in our master branch. And now I'm gonna type in this command, and I'm just gonna copy this whole thing, this thing over here. Control C, go to command terminal, and you paste it over here, and hit enter. Whoops. And you write this command push origin. Copy this command, and you paste it over here. Oh, failed to put some reference to github.com. Okay, let's see. src space does not matter. Okay, I get the error. I forgot to type one command. Wait. Get add to tag. Okay, nothing add to command. Okay, let's remove this. I'm gonna get init. I forgot to write this command. Now I'm going to get commit m setup done. Okay, now I'm gonna run this command over here. Okay, remote already exists, and now I'm gonna say there we go. Now the Git has finally pushed my code, and now if I go over here, now if I refresh this, and if I refresh this and go over here, I guess list, and if I go over my oops, I think I gotta go back. If I go to my books, and if I see my settings.py, you've seen the changes which you have made yesterday, writing all this templates dir, static dir is over here. So that means we have successfully pushed our code into GitHub. Now the work of the Git is done over here. You can also see over here the Git has been included in our project. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start coding out the front end part of the project. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new HTML file over here. I'm going to make a new file. I'm going to name this index.html, and I'm going to close these Python files because we have no use of it. I'm going to write HTML. I'm going to give the title book list over here. And what I'm going to do now is I want to add, are you seeing this image over here, right? The image over here. Let me just go over there. Oops, this is back. Go over here. Static images. I want to add this image in my top of the HTML5 to make it look nicer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna say img src equals static images slash, I'm gonna copy this. So oops, I cannot copy that. Okay, new book on .jpg, and I'm gonna put in a percentage sign. Everything looks perfect, and now I'm gonna say h1. I'm gonna say my book list, right?
I don't have that much experience with HTML, but I've used that tag img before, but I see that something is new to me, like the curly bracket.
Okay. Okay, curly bracket. This is a Jinja language we are using over here. What Jinja language is, if you want to use the Django syntax in the HTML file, then there is a language made to use that in the HTML, and the name of that language is HTML. What this line is saying over here is, if you want to find the image called new book icon.jpg, which is over here, just go to the static file over here, which is this one, and go to the images part and go to the new book icon.jpg. This is what this is saying.
Okay.
This is what this
So,
line is saying.
that's a compulsory thing. Like it's not possible to just give the path without those.
Okay, the thing is, I want to have all the images in my images folder. I don't want to hard code it. Everything will be in my images folder. I keep all the images in my image folder. So whichever image I want, I create a image folder inside my static file, and I put the image name of the image over here, and I write the syntax, and image will be over there.
Okay.
And one thing we need to do is we also need to type here load, %, load static. What this is saying is that whenever something this syntax is introduced, you need to load the static file. This is what this line is saying.
Okay.
Okay. Now what I'm gonna save this file. I'm gonna go and run the server over here. So okay, let's run the server. Python py run the server. Okay, server is running. I'm gonna copy this in my Chrome over here. And here we go, we got a book over here, but this does not look nice, right? Something is missing over there. We wanna color this whole page, and we wanna make this look nice, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill the background with this same yellow color, so I can get only the interior part of the image, so I can only get this black part. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here and type in style equals background color, and my color will be, this will be my color. This is going to be my color. Again, you guys can have any color you want. You can just go over here. You can just go, hang on. You can just go over here and type in color picker. And as soon as you type in the color picker, you can see this range of colors over here, right? You can just move this around, see the range of color over here, and you can just copy and paste the hex value over there and paste it over here, and you can have the same color. But before shooting this video, I found this yellow color to be pretty nice, so I copied the yellow color and made the color of image to be same yellow, so that only the black book can be seen. So I make
Or,
that
yeah,
one.
if you want the exact same color value, you could just open it with maybe MS Paint or something if you're using OS, and then just use a color picker to find out the hex value for.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, it is absolutely up to you. You can use whichever color you want. So I'm gonna save this, and I'm gonna run the server again. Server. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna close this up. Oops, I'm gonna go over here. Now we have the color yellow, right? Now this does not look good, right? I want to bring this image to the center of the file, center of the space, and I want to bring this text right exactly beside this image, right? So all I can do is that what I'm going to do now is again, what you can do is you can put all the CSS. You can make a new file, style.css, and you can put all the CSS over here, which I'm going to do now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in link.
Is that file part of a template, or you created later on?
No, I created this. I created static files. I created static file, and inside the static file, I created CSS and images. All your JavaScript files, CSS file, all the stuff that you require in the front end goes in this file.
Goes in
In
this.
the file static. Yeah, goes in the static. If it is image, you create a new folder of image and put it over here. If it is CSS, then you create a CSS folder and put all the CSS over here. And if it is JavaScript, create the JavaScript folder and put all the JavaScript over there. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have to link this file. In the similar way, I'm going to say curly bracket. I'm going to say static. I'm going to say CSS/style CSS. Right. This looks much better now. What I can do is, instead of putting this as style equals background color equals this hex value, now I can put this thing over here and this should be rendered correctly. Let's see. So I'm going to do body background color, and I'm going to put this hex value over here, put the semicolon, save this file, and we should be good to go. There we go. This means the style.css is connected to our file.
Just a second.
Okay.
We have that thing on both sides. Maybe we would want to delete it from the HTML, like this
Yeah,
one.
I already. Okay.
Yeah, otherwise it will be confusing whether we got that one from the CSS.
Yeah, we got it.
HTML, right?
We got it. I refreshed it. We got it. Now, if you want me to show what I can do is I can comment out this whole thing over here. I'm going to comment out this whole thing and try to refresh the page. It should be gone. There we go. It is gone. Right. Now I'm going to uncomment this out. And save it again and refresh the space, and it's right over here. Right. Again, the preference of the color is completely up to you. You can just type in color picker over here and just copy this hex value over here. Then you'll get the color corresponding to that hex value. Now the thing is, I want to give ID to this image, and it's going to be book ing. And what I'm going to do is hash book ing. And what we're trying to do over here is we got the oops, I already deleted the image. All right. Okay, what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring this books in the center of the file, and we're going to bring this text in the center of the file right beside this image, right? So what I can do is I'm going to say book ing, and I'm going to say position equals absolute, and I'm going to say left equals 50 px probably. Let's see. I'm going to refresh the page. It is not enough, so I'm going to have to put something more. Probably, let's try 500. Yeah, now it is exactly in the middle of the page, right? Now the image is exactly in the middle of the page. Now I want to bring this thing over here, right over here. So what I can do is I can give the ID to the h1 tag, and that's going to be ID equals, I'm going to give title, and I'm going to say title again over here. I'm going to say position equals absolute. I'm going to say left will be probably 600 pixel. I'm going to save this. I'm going to go over here, refresh the page. Okay. I'm going to say now top 20 pixel. Okay. I gotta increase this slightly more, and I gotta increase this as well. Okay, this is still not good. I'm gonna go over here, paste it slightly more. Let's try 90. 90 pixel. Slightly more, so I think 700 will do the job. I'm just putting up the random values over there and just testing. Okay, there we go. The image, the text is right behind the, I mean, right beside the image, but I wanna make text slightly bigger. So how we can do that is I can say uh, font size. That's gonna be probably, let's try with 50 pixel and let's see what it's gonna give. Yeah. Now I'll decrease the value of top slightly. 690. Go over here. Okay.
Nishant?
Yeah.
Is it possible to make the X and the left and the top value more dynamic? Because people might choose to use different images, right? So
Yeah.
in that case, the value we give right now, the left 700 and
Mm-hmm.
top certain value, maybe 50, 60, that's not going to work anymore. Now people might have to experiment with, is there a way to make it more dynamic?
Dynamic means what do you mean dynamic? That
Like,
like you mean
like we know the height and then the width of this image, right?
okay.
And then maybe we find out the center of the image, I mean like
Mm-hmm.
the whole screen, and then
So okay, so what do you mean is instead of doing hit and trial method, like
yeah,
putting the values and refreshing the page, you wanna find something numerically the middle of the page and you wanna directly put the image in that position, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think
But
that
you
can
want
be
to do
done.
that right now, but is that a possibility here? Because when people don't know what kind of images they are going to use, right? In that
Mm-hmm.
case, it's going to be like very irritating, I guess, because now you test it with one image, and then
Uh-huh.
now you have your text overlaps. Now you move that,
Okay.
you find out, oh, this image is not working. You're going to put some other image that has a different size, and then
Mm-hmm.
again your text is way too far. Now, so
Okay.
it consumes a lot of time. So if there's a possibility of being able
Yeah,
to,
I think there has to be a possibility of doing that, but I really never thought about it in that way, so I'm not sure about that. So this is how I do it. I just put in the
no,
random values over there and see where the image goes, and I go on putting the other numbers, and I just figure it out in that way. But what you are telling is absolutely correct. I think there has to be some way of figuring out the position of image in that way as well, but I'm not familiar with that one.
okay, sure.
Okay. So everything looks perfect. We just want this to be slightly above, right? Exactly in the center. So, oops, where's that gone? Where's that gone? Okay, okay. I want that to be slightly, I want this to be slightly above. So I can say 700, 700. This I can decrease to probably 40, 45. Let's see. Yeah, this looks perfect now, right? My book list. Now, I wanna make this text look a bit stylish. If you want a whole bunch of font, then you can just type in Google Font API over there, and there you can find a whole bunch of font over there. But I don't wanna. You can just type in Google Font API, and there's a whole bunch of font. But I don't wanna do that now. But I just want to change this font to italic. I think we can change the font to italic and bold using the raw HTML. But if you want to use some other font, then I think you need to download some sort of font API from Google. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over here and put EM. What this is going to do is it's going to change the text in italic. There we go. Now the text has been changed into italic. Now what I want is as per our plan, this front end plan. Now what I want is I want the form which will be the book name, the author, and ISBN number. Let's see. And for that, we're going to use the Bootstrap. For that, we're going to use Bootstrap. If you guys don't know what Bootstrap is a CSS framework. Instead of doing all of this stuff manually, they have made some sort of Bootstrap classes that helps us to do this thing automatically. So we're going to use that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this color picker out. I'm going to close this as well. I'm going to write Bootstrap. I'm going to make this bigger. go over here and get started. And first thing there has to be some sort of way to connect your project with the Bootstrap, right? So you're gonna have to copy this thing. Just click copy over here, go over here, and you just paste it over here. And now your Bootstrap has been added to your project. Now just type in forms. Just type in forms, and now there are a whole bunch of forms available over here. Now, if you want this kind of form, then you can copy this code. If you want this kind of form, then you can just copy this code. It is absolutely up to you. Right now, we want a very simple form. So I think, this one looks pretty good for us, right? This one looks pretty good for us. So I think I'm gonna copy this whole thing. And paste over here. First, I want to ensure that everything is inside the container class. Container class basically, makes positions every element inside your HTML page in the center, right? So I paste this. Let's see what we have in our book list. Okay, everything has been messed up now. See, everything has been messed up now. So what I'm gonna do now is, hang on, what's the problem here? Everything has been messed up, so let's close this up. Let's close this up. I think it is better to do everything manually with HTML and CSS than copy and pasting the code from Bootstrap right now, because we're not coding any heavy front end over here. We just want basically 2 or 3 form section over here. So I think it'll be better if we code out manually the form. So I'm gonna do Control Z over here.
What if we, you just created a class called container, and then we had everything inside? What if we change the left and top value of that container itself? Maybe we could just position it a little.
The thing is, it is very hard to override the Bootstrap classes with manual CSS,
Okay.
right? You either use CSS or you use Bootstrap. If you try to combine both of them, then it's gonna be really hard. It is absolutely possible to combine both of them, but it makes the job a little bit harder when you do that. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna code this out manually.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna input type text. Okay, type text. And pass in your placeholder. Into okay. Let's see what this is gonna do now. I'm gonna run in the server again. Okay. Should be working it out now. Okay. This is the problem. This is figuring out, this is now coming over here, right? So I can basically use CSS to bring this thing over here. That's what we're gonna do. And I'm also gonna figure out how to, bring back the color of the background page. Let's try it over here. I don't know what. There we go. Our color is back. The thing is, if you are working with both Bootstrap classes and if you're using the manual CSS as well, the only way to the only way to override the Bootstrap classes is by typing style over here and writing your CSS over here. Because if you go on and make a different file and write the CSS when you're using Bootstrap classes, then this CSS might not override your Bootstrap classes, and everything starts to fall apart. So now now Bootstrap classes doesn't allow us to use this thing in the styler CSS file. So I just copy and pasted this code over here to styler style, and I put this thing over here. So I'm gonna get rid of this thing, save it. Let's say everything is fine so far. Everything is fine. Now I want to bring this. I'm gonna give this to the class of ID equals type. Oops, I think title is already over there. Book. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type in hash book again. If you want to position something, normally I use this kind of CSS. So I type in left. Okay, book title. I type it over there. So what I do now is probably 500 pixel, and I'm gonna increase the width, and width will be around 400 pixel. And let's see where this, okay, it's coming right over here. I'm going to say top is going to be 300 pixel. It's coming right here. I want to say text align center. It's going to change into center, and I want to say border radius. Border is solid. Border is solid. Border pixel. The border. Hang on, what happened over here? Border style. There's gonna be solid. There we go. We got a nice looking border over here. I'm gonna slightly increase the height of our form. So I'm going to say 30 pixel. 50 should do the job, I guess. 50 is too much. I think 35 should do the job. Yep, 35 looks pretty awesome. I want to slightly move the form to the left, so I'm going to change this to 480 pixels. Refresh the page again. Slightly more to the left. Stay over here. Put this thing. 50 over here. Thing. Looks pretty good now, right? Looks pretty good now. Now we have the book title over here. Now whenever I type in, okay, whenever I type in, whenever I can type in anything over here. So basically we created a small form. Now what I want to do is I want to make this this elongated border slightly curved, and I can do that by writing this code over here. I'm going to say border radius. That's going to be 2 pixel. Save that. Oops. Let's see. Border radius here. Let's increase to 5. Here we go. You can see now it has been slightly rounded over here. If you want more rounded, you can say 8 pixels. There we go. It has been absolutely rounded now. Now what I want to do next is I want to put book title has been done. Now next thing, according to our format, according to our front-end format, now we're gonna put the author over here. It will be absolutely same. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my HTML file and enter over here. Oops, this thing is blocking video. Okay. I'm gonna type in input and text I'm going to type in placeholder equal author, giving the ID author, save that, do exactly same thing like we've done in the book. Actually, I can copy and paste this whole thing. Control C, change the ID of the book, and we keep the ID of the book as author. Put it over there. Put author over here. Now we want the form to be below this thing, right? So we're gonna have to change the value of the top. So what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna say this 500 pixel. Save this. Here we go. We have form over here. I don't want this gap between our two forms. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change this to probably 200 pixels. Let's see. Oops. 400 pixels should do the job, I guess. There we go. Well, now we have book title. Now we got author. And now we need one more thing, and that is the ISBN number. And what I'm gonna say is the same thing again. Input that this time should be number. And I'm gonna type in here placeholder equals ISBN. I'm gonna give in the ID ISBN and save the file. And I'm going to do the same thing over here, going to my CSS, do the same thing, copy and paste. Same thing. And just paste this. I think I should make top to 500 over here. Okay. I did not change the ID. I need to change the ID as well. It's the end. Let's see, it was capital or small letters. It was small letters. I'm going to save this. Here we go. Now we have our book title. Now we got author, and we got the ISBN number, right? ISBN number. Okay. So next thing, whenever you type in the number text file, this little arrow comes over here. That's not a big thing. So now we want to create the submit button over here according to our plan. So we need to have our submit button over there. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say input type submit, and I'm going to give this the Bootstrap class. Class equals btn success. Give the ID of button and save this. Basically copy and paste the whole thing again. Copy this, save this to 600. I want to change the width of our button because I don't want the width of the button to be as elongated as my form is. So I want to say the width should be around 100 pixels. Let's see. Okay. What did I? Okay, I did not. I forgot to change the ISBN button. So I'm going to say here button, and I'm going to pass in the value. Oops. Submit. Save this thing over here. Refresh, and here we go. The submit button is over here, but I want to change the submit button. I want to make sure that submit button comes over here, right in the middle. So what I can do that, how I can do that is I can say left equals 5 over there. 600 should do the job. Here we go. Now we have book title, we have author, and we have ISBN number. Now we can type in anything you want. You can say Python, and we can say author as Mr. Nishant. You can type in some ISBN number. You can do whatever you want and press the submit button. Right now, the next thing we need to do is we need to have the according to our plan. Now we're gonna go this to the file. Now we need to have this thing, right? As soon as you press the submit, it has to render this thing, right? There has to be a table. And this thing over here should come whenever you press the book name, author, and ISBN number should come whenever you name. So whenever you press the submit button, right? So we're gonna make this thing now. For that we're gonna use the Bootstrap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Bootstrap and type in table. Type in the table, and this is the table we want, I guess. Instead of has, I'm going to type in our title, name of the title. Instead of first, it's going to be our let's see, it's going to be our hang on, yep, it is. Instead of this the first, I'm going to type in your author. Instead of last, I'm going to type in here our ISBN number, and instead of this thing, we're gonna have no heading over here. Instead of this @MDO @FAT, we're gonna have the delete button. So as soon as the user presses the delete button, this whole row will go away, right? So in order to do this, I'm just gonna copy and paste this code over here. So what I'm gonna do is okay, mark auto MDO 1 2. Okay, I'm gonna paste this whole bunch of code over here. And one thing I noticed is that all this input file that should be included inside our form class, form HTML tag. So I'm gonna copy and paste all of this inside our form HTML class. Paste this, and I'm gonna remove this. Action, don't worry about action and all. I'm going to tell you guys about this action and all when we're coding the backend. And for now, don't worry about the method. They're basically get and post method. There are 4 or 5 methods, but mainly we use get and post. Don't worry about that as well. When I'm coding the backend, I'm going to tell you guys all about method of posting and action of the form. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to save this and refresh the page to see everything is okay for now. Yes, everything is looking fine. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this whole thing. All right, let's copy this whole thing. Control C, and this should be outside of the form. I'm gonna paste this over here. I want to make sure that indentation is properly configured. So this whole thing is in tab. Okay. So now what I want to do, let's see. I'm gonna refresh this page. Everything might have messed up now. Let's see. Okay, the table came over here, right? But we don't want the table over here. We want the table right below the submit form, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the I'm gonna override the Bootstrap classes by typing style equals and our CSS code in order to bring this whole table over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say style equals position absolute. I'm gonna say top, let's say for if it's 700 pixels. Let's see. You see the table comes right over here now, and I want to change this. I want to change this whole thing. I don't want this hash. I don't want this handle title at the end. So I'm going to remove this. I don't want hash. Instead of hash, I want a title of a book. I'm going to write in title. Instead of this first, I want author. Instead of this last thing, I want ISBN number. And over here I'm going to write Python. Over here I'm going to write author. Let's say Robert, and let's say our ISBN number is 1234. Let's say 12, and I'm going to delete this as well. Let's see what this looks like now. Yeah, looks Looks pretty good so far. Now, one thing I want to do is I also want to have the delete button over here. Now, what I can do to get the delete button is I'm going to show you how to get the delete button. First, I think I should slightly decrease the width of this table to make it look even nicer, I guess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write in here width, and that should be around width would be around, let's see, 600 pixel. Let's see what it's gonna do for us. Okay, it contracted a way bit more, so I'm gonna increase this to 900 pixel. There we go. Now this looks absolutely perfect. Now I want to slightly bring this whole table to the middle part, so I can do that by typing here. Let's go over here and let's type left. Let's increase the left by, let's say, 30 pixels. Okay, I'm going to have to increase the value of left. So let's do 90. Go over here, refresh it some more. Okay, some more. 30. Some more. This is, as Rushandala said, this is the reason why, you know, we need to figure out something to, you know, calculate the width of the page and maybe position the whole thing in the center of the page instead of, you know, typing in the random number and tasting.
Yeah, also something I noticed is if we have some you know, platform or some plugins for Atom or whatever IDE or code editor we use, so that when you change the value in CSS, then we have the our you know, the front end dynamically updated, then it would be awesome.
Yeah, I really have not, like I said before, I really have not thought about this before. So I think I'm gonna try to research about this so that I can, you know, get rid of, you know, randomly typing up the numbers and checking out whether this is working or not. All right. This looks perfect for us, I guess.
Also, another idea actually I was thinking about is, sorry to interrupt you, but like if we could have you know, one image that gives us the, you know, like a simple coordinate system where you have the grid, and then it shows the pixel values at certain portion, like say 10, 100, 150, so that way I think it'd be easy to guess as well, and it'd make the process a lot faster, I guess.
Yeah, I think
an image before, and then later on when we're done, we just throw that image.
Yeah, I think they might have figured out something, but I'm a bit inexperienced developer, so there might be possibility that I did not know about the technology, but I'm definitely gonna look at it.
Okay.
So now this is in the middle. Now we want some delete kind of button over here, and we want, I've downloaded an image. If you see over here, you go to books and you go to list, and if you go to static file, I've downloaded the image over here. Instead of the delete button, I want this cross button over here. So whenever the user clicks in the cross button, this, you know, the whole rows will be deleted. So I want to put this thing as the icon of the button. So how we can do that is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say, and okay, title, author, ISBN, your word. I'm going to say TD, and I'm going to pass in button, and I'm gonna say class equals button danger. Now if you're wondering what I'm writing over here, class equals btn slash danger, these are all the Bootstrap classes. If you read the if you type in your buttons over here, and you can see a whole bunch of button over here. This btn danger, btn slash dash btn danger just gives the red color thing over here. If you read the documentation over here, then everything you can find over here. That's what I'm doing. So btn danger, and I want that image over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say ing src equals in the similar way before, I'm going to say curly bracket, static, go over images, slash, the name of the image is new, now icons.
Icon, yeah.
I think I should rename this. Delete. Okay, delete is over here, and I'm gonna say delete.png, and I'm gonna pass in, what's that? I'm gonna pass in this percentage sign over here, and I'm gonna close the tag. Yeah, I think this should do the job for us. Let's see. Okay, this made this is a very big button. We clearly don't want the button as big as this. So what I want to do is I want to remove this red thing over here. So what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna say style equals order none. It's capitals. And I'm gonna say background color is, you can just type in this hex here. Okay, I'm just pasting this, and let's see what it's gonna give us. Here we go. Here we go. We got a nice button with only cross value over here. But the thing is, we're getting this weird line over here. I don't know why we're getting that. Let's see. Let's try to delete that. Image src. Go Python. Let's see, everything is looking perfect. Right now, if you go ahead and click on JS, and nothing is gonna happen because nothing is gonna happen because we have not coded the backend yet. So what we, oh, forbidden, yeah, we have not coded the backend yet. But what we're doing over here is whenever you type in the book title, and whenever you type in the author, and whenever you type in the ISBN name, it should come over here. That we're gonna code out in the backend video. And why am I getting this weird line? Let's see. Apart from that, everything looks perfect. Okay, let's see. Why am I getting that weird line? Okay. Title is Python, author robot. Right now we're all hard coding, this title, author, and ISBN. We're gonna have to hard code this title, author, and ISBN thing. But apart from that, we're gonna generate all of this data. We're gonna pass in all of this data from back to the front end using Python. Right now, just to test the front end, I'm just hard coding this data.
Maybe that's because we have, we have like 4 columns of content, but then the title we only have 3 columns. Like if you see in the th tag, there are like 3 columns.
Maybe that might be the case. Yeah, that might be the case. But there has to be some way of, I should be able to take care of that. Let's see.
Well, in that case, what if we do this? Like you consider that the delete button over here is not part of the table itself.
You don't want to consider the delete button as a part of the table, so you want to put this delete button over here. Yeah, you can do that. That's a pretty good idea. You can do that. So what I can do is, okay, let's see.
Or the other option is maybe we'll add one more column after ISBN, and we just write it delete over there. That's another option. Let's see.
And delete buttons. Okay, let's try it with that. So Mm,
Let's see how it looks.
delete. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see how this looks now. Yeah, this looks way better now. Absolutely, this looks way better now. But I'm trying to find a way to even not have this deleting over here. Let's see if that is possible. Let's see if that is possible, but I'm gonna do some research and find out whether it is possible to have this weird line go away without mentioning the delete button over here. But right now I'm gonna commit my code to the Git so that even if I lose, even if I mess up other while coding the backend, I can always go back to always go back to the last commit I made. So I can do that by going to my I'm gonna close the server. I'm gonna say git add period. Period is basically saying that track hold of all of my files in the project, and I'm gonna say git commit and let's say front end created, and it's gonna commit, and I'm gonna say git push. Yeah, it has now our code has been pushed. Now if we go to the GitHub, if you go to my GitHub over here, and I go over here to your repositories, I have a book list, and let's go to list. Let's go to our templates. Yeah, you can see all the course has been hosted online now. Again, if you guys want any of this code, if you guys want any of this code, then I'm gonna include that over here to leave the link of my GitHub in the description below, and you can always get the code from there.
Sure.
So yeah, I think this is it for today's video. We have successfully created the front end portion. Now we need to do some validation by using the JavaScript so that whenever the user leaves this blank and tries to enter the submit, the user should not be able to submit it. Right. Oh, I'm closing the server. That's what I'm getting that. I'm going to run the server again. Over here, let's paste this. Yeah, everything is looking cool right now, and I'm gonna write some JavaScript later in the third part of the video where I do not allow the user to just submit without unless the user completely types in all the field. That's what the JavaScript will be useful for. And in the next part, I'm going to be coding the backend where I'll be creating the database. So we'll be using SQL3, the default database of the Django, and rendering out all the objects in the front end. So that's it for the today's video, guys. So I'll see you in the next part while coding at the backend. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Nishant. I think this was a wonderful class for me to understand a little bit about how the HTML and then the Django interact with each other, and then I learned about that the Jinja, you mentioned it.
Yeah, change that template whenever if you wanna display the data you get from the back into the front end, and you basically use Jinja language, or if you wanna run the loops and a Boolean expression in the front end in the HTML file, then you can always use the Jinja language.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. I hope everybody, whoever is watching this video, found it useful, and I hope to see you again in part 3 of the video. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, thank you.